Well, hello, all my little Luxes. This is Trusty Lux, and welcome to the little channel of horrors. And with me is my sidekick.
Hi, DC here. The allergies are really kicking my ass today. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say allergies are getting to me today as well, but I'm not gonna complain because we're finally seeing 80-degree weather, and
uh,
it's a nice change.
oh my
As
God.
you're dying over there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I got my,
So we are doing, of course, reviews for our past few videos of our favorite horror films. And this one is one of DC's favorites. And take it away, DC. This is one of your films.
it was my turn this time. And it
Uh-huh.
was, and I chose something that not a movie that's one of my favorites that's not exactly well known at all. It's like, I don't know a lot of
No,
people who've seen it. So, but I do.
this was my first watching.
Yeah, I do push it on everybody. If someone's like, hey, name a horror movie I should watch, I'm like, dude, bro, Party Massacre 3. You should watch that. It's really good. And I have to dedicate this whole episode to Laszlo because um this is the movie that kind of made us be friends. He was working at Planet Fitness, I was working out at Planet Fitness, and we got to talking one day, and I started talking to this about this movie, and he went and watched it. And the next day he saw me and he gave me a big hug. He was like, dude, that's a good movie. And I'm like, yeah. And then we were quoting it for about a year. So if you were ever in the Knoxville area at the Planet Fitness, you heard me and Laszlo quoting that movie, talking about how we have hairy baby dog dicks and that we got to do our lats and traps and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a good one. It's also our first movie, so it's another thing for me. It's the first movie we ever watched together, so
Yeah,
that's another plus there.
considering it's one of those things that your watch parties are not usually your thing. So
No, I hate watch parties. Sorry to everybody who invites me to a watch party, but that ain't gonna happen. I actually like to watch the movie. It's like I don't want
where
to be.
I love watch parties.
Yeah, she loves them, and I'm just like, you have fun with that. I'm sorry, I can't. Like, I've done it several times, and I just did not enjoy the experience. It's like one of the main reasons is kind of goes with Dude Bro Party Massacre 3. There is two females in this entire movie, and it's like that's one of the reasons I don't like watch parties is because if there is a woman involved, everybody in that watch party is on that woman. Like, hey, what's this? And it's like,
I think that's just your experiences.
you
I keep trying to
fucking
invite you to
simps.
my I keep trying to invite you to my watch party where we are all equally involved and nobody ignores anyone.
No, not gonna happen. Like, it's just I can't. I would be the most antisocial person in a watch party because I would be watching the movie and ignoring everybody to be like, I'm actually having fun watching this movie. Y'all have fun talking
Well,
and
that's
looking at
okay
the TV.
too. Nobody would ask. Actually, all we do is we ask if you fell asleep, and it's like, no, I'm watching a movie. It's like, oh, well, it makes sense.
No,
So,
I like watching the movie, man. Sorry, I'm not a fucking simp like you guys.
you and that
My
you
new
and that
favorite
word,
word. My new
which
favorite word.
which I should probably put up an adult content warning. We do a lot of swearing in this channel. This is for 18 plus only. So
Yeah,
if you're a child, kindly leave this channel.
because
You're not
DC is gonna
allowed.
get naked and show him and show you his zook. Hey everybody, you want to see my zook? I'll do it,
There
man.
it is.
I gotta get Kermit in here to do it. It's like, hey everybody. Oh, hey, I'm looking for baddies. Oh,
You're
Jesus.
gonna get us into so much trouble.
Yeah,
So
I know. Well, like
let's
I
get
said, what did I
back
say?
to the movie.
What did I say? I said they are not here for me. I don't even take credit for those 10 views anymore. I'm like that all 100 of our views are you. Not one of them is for me. Like no one watches for me. That's okay. because I'm just here to be stupid.
You're here to be pretty
Yeah, I
with
mean,
your
well,
Duke.
we usually do the whole facts thing, but I mean, I gave you one fact. It's like, so you can do the facts because if y'all look up Dude Bro Party Massacre 3 on IMDb, Google anything, usually go to IMDb, you see the trivia section, and there's like hundreds of facts about this movie. Go to look this one up, there's 11. It's just
And several of them actually repeat each other too.
tiny movie. Tiny. This was made for like a pack of gum and a jaunty tune. It's like this had nothing. Like this is such a low budget. I mean, the gore's great. Like it works.
Oh, the gore is good and classic, and some of the deaths, which we'll get to that coming up. But the fact that I think you're hinting at is the death count.
Oh yeah.
Is that the one? Because where did I put that? Their goal was to break the highest body count in a film, which the one previous to that was 155. Yeah. And that's where it's confusing because it's like they're not talking about kills, highest kills. They're talking about highest body count. Yeah. Because they were including the plane crash, the flooding of the city, and
Old Parch Town.
Parch Town.
His greatest freaking name, Old Parch Town.
This movie is one of those movies where if you are easily offended or triggered by things, you do not want to watch this film.
No, this right is a film
for entertaining and bad humor. And because when they get to Parch Town for their patty boat ride,
patty boats.
Oh, yeah.
You get, it was like a Toxic Avenger 4. If you watch Toxic Avenger 4 Citizen Toxie, that is easily the most offensive horror movie I've ever seen, and I freaking love it. It's like it opens, and this is bad. I'm not sitting here saying that this should be made fun of, but it opens with a school shooting in a special needs school. It's like it opens with me saying, oh, they shouldn't do that. That never happens. Like it offended me. And then so automatically I love the movie. Yeah.
I was gonna say, if they can open up and offend you, that's either oppressive or very bad. I don't know.
Oh, I love that movie. Citizen Toxie is like it's so anything trauma is just ridiculously offensive, and I love it.
I was gonna say I love trauma, so
and Citizen Toxie is, I think, next to like Cannibal the Musical and Poultrygeist, Night of the Chicken Dead, next to like those movies, Citizen Toxie is like it's up there. It's up there in the top 5 best. And Return to Nukem High and stuff like that. Like it's,
oh my god, it's been so long since I've watched that one, but that one's good too.
Return to Nukem High was great because it had the lesbian main characters, and they actually didn't use it like a trauma usually would. Like it just like, oh well, these two are gonna get naked. All right. They didn't.
No,
really
they didn't
like that.
They didn't.
I mean, they did because it is trauma, but
but not like that.
Yeah, they didn't use it for just solely for that. So, but I don't know. I like some trauma movies. Some trauma movies are terrible, but yeah, it was good. I liked it.
Well, this one wasn't a trauma film. This one was 5-second films.
Yeah,
it probably could have been.
Oh,
very easily could have been. But this one was in 2015, but it was actually started from a Kickstart. Yeah, backed by Kickstart and it started in like what, 2013?
Yeah, it was like 2012, 2013, something like that.
Which you technically were a backer, but you said it was after the previous
backed the Blu-ray
had happened?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
I did not back the film because I never heard of it. But whenever I heard of it, it was like, oh, coming to Blu-ray, Dude Bro Party Massacre 3, because I saw it on a digital download. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll pay for that. I paid like $14 for it and watched it and loved it. And then they were like, all right, now join our kick. The end of the film is like, now join our Kickstarter to get this on Blu-ray. And I was like, all right, you got me there. So I was like,
sold. Yeah. Here's my money.
Yeah, so people don't know my real name. So you can see on the sheet of paper my real name in there. It's on there. But yeah, no.
Your full real name.
My full real name, because I even used my middle name. in that because
Oh, geez.
because my real name, when you say it outright, because I have 3 first names, and it's like you say my name in full, it sounds like a serial killer. Like it sounds like a full on serial killer, and it's
You're
great.
not
So I
using
put all
that to
3 of
your
my names.
advantage.
Yeah, I put that in the movie, and it's like that. There's my name, and people are like, "Oh, that dude's a serial killer. He killed 14 people in a freaking Target." I don't
Of
know
all
why.
places, a Target.
I don't
Why
know why.
Target?
I don't know. It probably would more likely happen in a Panda Express because I love Panda Express. So
Well, you don't kill what you know. You go
if
to
there's a
the
long
least
line,
likely.
there's a
Oh, okay.
long
I
line.
guess
I
I
want
mean
my
that.
orange chicken.
Give
Move out
me
of the
my
way.
Panda Express now.
I want my noodles and orange chicken. Move out of the way. I'll
That's me
flood
for
this
my
whole
coffee.
place. Give me a patty boat.
Give me my patty boat.
Yeah.
Here, take a picture with my family.
Oh, my son, he was only 2.
Oh God. I was cringing at that part where I'm just like, oh God, this went to a whole new level.
where Brent is like he's humping the tombstone of his 2-year-old
It's so
son.
uncomfortable. And you can tell he's uncomfortable. He's like, I have to fake my way here.
Oh, it's Brent. My name is
Oh.
Brent. I don't know Tai Chi. My brother knew Tai Chi.
My brother knew Tai Chi.
So stupid. So stupid. And they never go back to that voiceover or the Tai Chi thing ever again.
No, they don't do that.
I mean, Laszlo's favorite line was when he's discovering the truth and he's like, oh, she's killing everybody from all their fears. And he's like, oh, look, there he is. She killed him because of his fear of heights. And Turtleneck Bro said, oh, yeah, that we really haven't established that fear yet. And the other guy's like, yeah, this whole movie's a mess anyway. And then the writer of the movie, guys. Yes, and
yeah, that's a classic. I love it when, especially when it's made to be a bad, cheesy horror movie, and the fact when they break the fourth wall. I love it when they break the fourth wall and they're like, yeah, well, it's kind of bad anyway. So.
Yeah, you cackled at the clues and my investigation. You were like cackling over there, and I was like, this is great.
I don't know why that got to me. It's just out of nowhere. You'd be like, clues?
Yeah.
Well, I did have a question because I know my favorite death in the whole movie, which I was curious to know what your favorite death is. In the whole
it's
movie.
definitely the keg. The keg
death.
Always, yeah.
Which I called that one. As soon as he found the freaking keg, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. Where's my tap? Yeah, it's about to hit you in the head.
Yeah, it's great. And then the best part was the freaking after she did it, and then she does her little one-liner. It's not even the one-liner that's funny. It's the way she walks off screen. It was like, hold on, I'll fucking demonstrate. She was like, it's all head. And then she just saunters off screen like a pimp.
like I did it, yo.
Yeah.
Yes. And good. I was very sad that they didn't give the one-liner after, is it Sizzler? The one that was the vegan?
Yeah, Sizzler was the vegetarian. Sizzler's not going to make the frat because he's a vegetarian. What? Yeah. You gotta beef. You can't get out of the box until you beef in the beef box. And they never tell you what beefing is.
No, which I'm assuming was crap yourself. I'm assuming.
No idea. I couldn't tell you. But it's a wicked good movie. But
of course, my favorite death was ZQ. The one which they had made the joke about the fear of heights. Technically, he didn't die by the fear of heights. He died because she put a tree on top of him and then pulled him in half.
Yeah. And then hung him.
Yeah, and then hung him. Yeah. But I think that was one of the funniest scenes was where they're like, oh, look, ZQ is getting over his fear of heights, and then he goes over top of them, and of course half of his body's gone, so you're just watching them all like happy and proud, and all of a sudden they just get this appalled face when they realize it's half a body, and then just this fake blood is just like pouring all over them, And of course, they're in the lake, just like
the shallowest lake in the
it's
history of
like known to
lakes.
man.
Oh,
But yet later in the scene, it's the deepest lake you could possibly
yeah.
see because it was the flooded town.
Old Parch Town. Yeah.
Old Parch Town.
Old Parch Town, because they flooded Old Parch Town as the junior prank. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. They killed over 1,000 people. Yeah, but the paddle boat industry is booming there now. It's like, well, there is that. It's like, God. And the dean is Nina Hartley from, I mean, yeah, Nina Hartley, the porn star. There is a lot of good cameos in this. I mean, Larry King is in this movie. He's a very quick scene, but he's in it. And the one that I freak out over is Andrew WK, Ripstick. Yes,
Ripstick.
Andrew WK Ripstick. He's in it for 2 scenes and then never seen again until the after credits scene. So.
And his is very quick. It's like he's there, he says his line, and then he's gone.
And I mean, you have all the famous tropes and all the famous, like the kind of homages to other films. The ripping when Derek rips his shirt in half and he's wearing the Johnny Depp crop top. It's like, yeah. And Derek, he's a very important person in this movie. Like he is probably, well, I guess Patton Oswalt would be the most famous, but like he's probably the most famous that people don't realize he's famous. So
that's a perfect way of putting it.
Yeah.
So Derek's character, say his name again.
I don't know his name. I forget it.
Oh, well, I have it. I just got it. Greg
Sicaro, I think.
Is it Sicaro?
It's something like that.
It's Sestero.
I'd have to look.
So it could be pronounced differently. He was originally from the cult classic The Room, and he was the character who played Mark. So it is Sestero. Okay.
Yeah.
And he was the character who played Mark.
Oh, hi.
And
Mark.
actually, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
That's actually how he ended up being Derek on this show, because someone from 5 Second Films is one of the founders that basically started the cult following for The Room, because when it was originally made, it was supposed to be a serious film.
Oscar winner.
Oscar winner. I wrote down his name, but I'm going to butcher it. It's Michael Rosalet. He's actually technically one of the founders that started the cult following for The Room, saying like, this movie's so bad, it's good. Yeah. And I think he was one of the ones that even started that silly thing, like every time you see that picture of that spoon, you're supposed to throw a spoon at the TV or whatever. But yeah, it's something my brother and his friends do, and they love it. But we even have the line from Derek's character where it's even the flowers, the music, the champagne, which is the classic line that Mark says in The Room. So
and if you sync that up with the disaster artist, he says it in the exact cadence, the exact tone. He says it perfectly, so you can sync it up. And it's like, it's very, very cool because he helped write the disaster artist. He wasn't the sole writer. Tom Bissell actually wrote the book, The Disaster Artist, which James Franco turned into an Oscar-winning film. So The Room technically did win an Oscar. So Tom Bissell and Greg Sestero wrote it. He wrote it with Greg Sestero because Greg Sestero was a part of the production. So it was very cool little book. And James Franco, man, he turned it. He played Tommy Wiseau in the movie, and it was fantastic. I loved it. I'm not the hugest fan of The Room. Once again, Laszlo has to be brought up again. Laszlo loves The Room. He thinks it's a masterpiece. I think it's a disaster piece, but it's like he loves it. I'm not the biggest fan, and it's funny because I don't like that movie, but I love Dude Bro. And that is my 2 examples that I tried to give you is like, because I hate corny movies. I hate them. Like I love Sharknado. I love stuff like that. But when a movie is made to be good and is really bad, it's not good to me. But
that's why it makes sense to me why you wouldn't like The Room then, because The Room was supposed to be serious.
Very serious. But Dude Bro is meant to be bad. There's no way that they wrote, you've got to find the dude bros, bop them on the nose, and turn them back into bags of oranges. There's no way that was written in seriousness. And yeah, well, there it is. And I love this movie, and I love movies that are purposely bad, like Sharknado. But yeah, this is the room. The Room is way too cringy for me. Like, and just like, this is so bad. I mean, it's got great moments. You're tearing me apart,
Lisa.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. You could take the moments in it and use it, and the one-liners.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I can see why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
it's
too cringe.
It's okay for me to watch at least once so that I know what it is in context. But I mean, it's not for me either. But it could be.
I think I watched it on Adult Swim, because Adult Swim, for those who don't know, Adult Swim every April Fool's Day does some big elaborate scheme. They're like, we're going to show, like this April Fool's Day was, they showed 5 classic episodes of 5 classic TV shows, except they had kids do the voices. So it was like Aqua Teen by 8-year-olds. And instead of the cuss words, they would say their own cuss words. And it was just like, I'm tired of your farting mess. And it was super cute. But one year they decided to play The Room on loop for the entire night. That was their big scheme. And they ended up playing it 4 times. But the problem was their rating spiked. They were like, wait a second.
Because of it.
Yeah.
Because of it.
And that's how I watched it. I was like, the first time I ever watched The Room was on Adult Swim. And then I rented it because apparently the sex scene is like 8 minutes long or something like that.
It is.
Like, well, I gotta watch that.
Well, and I actually know that fact only because of the fact, like I said, my brother is obsessed with it.
Yeah.
But the sex scene is that long because when they bought the rights for the film, Wasso flat out said, he goes, we're gonna use the whole damn song, so.
Oh yeah. Hell yeah. That, and it's an 8-minute long sex scene, and that is 7 minutes longer than what I usually last. So all right.
No comment.
I hope not. unless you know something I don't.
No. Oh well, we do have the kind of cameo sex scene that happens in Dude Bro, where I kept saying as soon as the couple was doing it in the tent, I'm like, God, this feels like Jason Goes to Hell, because I remember that scene. That's the one death that I remember the most, is the scene where you have, it's technically not even Jason, it's technically the possessed guy possessed with Jason, that like takes and just jams right into the tent and kills him.
I think it was like a rebar. It was a rebar through her chest, and then but this was a TODD got a blade through him. Old TODD.
And of course his girlfriend didn't even notice and went to sleep.
Eye on the prize. Keep moving. Eye on the prize. Because she just wants to be impregnated. Yeah.
She wanted to be pregnant, but she also wanted to be one of the guys.
Yeah. Even though she was a legacy, she wasn't allowed in there. It's like there's a tent in the shed. They're so mean to her through the whole movie, and it's great.
It makes me sad though. I feel so bad for Sam.
Because it's dude bros. That's what they do. They're mean. And it's like they're mean to her because she's not a part of the crew, because she's not a dude. And they are so mean. It's great.
They're mean to each other though too.
Oh yeah. I mean, like there's one crap, his name just now escaped me, the big guy. The guy
Turbo.
Turbo. Right? Yeah, Turbaux. Turbo. He is, if Jack Black and John Belushi had a love child, that is him. I mean, he even looks like a Belushi. Mm-hmm. And he is the best part of the whole freaking movie. He is so damn good. Like especially when he's like paddling. He's paddling the vegan, whatever. I forget his name again. But Sizzler.
I
Yeah, he's
think
paddling
Sizzler.
Sizzler. He's like, "Can you handle this spank? Can you handle this spank?" And he's like, keeps spanking him in different ways. He's like tapping him, and it's like, oh my
Oh,
god.
paddling him. See, when you said paddling, I kept thinking I'm like patty boat.
No, paddling with the paddle. He's like
With the
spanking him.
paddle. Yes, when he's first introduced to him in the room. Now I remember.
Little baby,
I,
little baby Brent Chirino.
and I apologize if you can hear that thumping sound. That's actually my curtains since I have the windows open today. So
I don't hear him. But
or it's a serial killer in the background. I don't know.
that's cool. That'd be awesome. Yeah.
No, but well, technically there might be. No, none of my serial killers are behind me. But
Yeah. I have a door behind me.
I have art. I have all the art behind me.
Yeah, because if anyone comes in my house right now, they're gonna be on YouTube.
Saying
No one's gonna come
hello.
to my house. No one comes to this house. Like this is like the house that is just avoided. Yeah.
Why?
It's probably because I'm annoying.
Where my house is one of those houses where my friends will just stop over every once in a while. I finally had to tell people, I'm like, can you at least just give me a forewarning before you come? Because sometimes I'm not always home.
No, I had one friend that ever did that, and that was fine. He was fine to just pop in. I don't care about that. Brandon's cool. But like, you come to my house, you better give me warning, because 90% of the time I'm not here. Like I'm out gallivanting. Like I don't stay home often. I don't like home. So like I'm a roamer. I didn't used to be like that. So that's okay. Oh no, but that actually it is a good transition to the little
what our life stories, which this one are life stories.
Yeah.
But was going to go to parties this time,
Yes.
which I want to hear your party story, which you said you don't really have party stories.
I have not had a drink since I was 16. So needless to say, parties weren't really drinking for me. It was like I would go to the parties and just watch everyone else drink. And
that's the thing. You could be the observer.
Yeah, I would be the life of the party. I'd be the one making everyone laugh. That's all. That's it. Like I didn't have any crazy party stories. I do have a drug story from when I was 16. So it's kind of like a party story, but I dropped acid before going to school once. And it wasn't really kicking in, and I was like, I don't feel anything. This is crazy. It'd been like 30 minutes, almost an hour, and I'm like just holding my book, and then I like kind of lost motor skills and dropped my book, and the book hit the ground, and I looked down, and the words had fell out of the book and was just scattered across the floor. And I was like, oh my god. And it's like, and so from what I've heard, I was down on the floor holding the book, trying to scoop the words back into the book. It's like, I'm going to get in so much trouble. So, yeah.
You're like, I got to fix this book, the letters.
Yes. I don't have $120 to pay for this book, man. Help me out here. Yes.
I never understood that when they would charge students to repair books.
So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot. Like I don't have a crazy sex story about getting drunk, and I don't have anything. I'm actually like, people think that I'm like a super interesting guy, and I'm really not. Like I don't have any cool, fun stories or anything like that. I've just happened to meet a lot of celebrities in my day. That's about it. So
I was gonna say, you have a lot of celebrity funny, hilarious stories. So.
Yeah, but I just no.
You used to work at a bar. I'm sure you saw some crazy shit.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like lots of puke, but I just don't like partying. It was never my thing. Like I'm like a social butterfly that loves talking to people. That's fine. But I don't really like being around a lot of people. I love concerts. Concerts are fine because concerts you can just vibe out and pay attention to the music, and there's no one around you. If that's the same thing with cons, like whenever I would go to Comic Con, Dragon Con, stuff like that. I've only went to a few, but it's like I would go and fanboy expos and stuff like that. I would go there and I could just vibe, and everyone's in a mask, so you don't really, it's like I don't even have to be myself, but I always went as myself. I would always just be me in a t-shirt and jeans. Like I never dressed up. I did go one time in jorts and a hockey jersey, and everyone thought I was trying, and a backwards hat, and everyone thought I was trying to be Kevin Smith. I'm like,
I can see that. As soon as you start, I'm like, how many people mistook you for Kevin Smith?
no, I'm not Kevin Smith. Sorry. Well, I could probably pass as Kevin Smith now with
Yeah,
now that he's
now
skinny.
that he's tiny.
Yeah, but like back then, that was big boy Kevin Smith. That was fat man Kevin Smith. So, you know,
He's done an amazing job on everything he's been working on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've seen him every time he's come to my area. I've seen him live. Like I never miss Kevin Smith. I'm actually a ridiculously massive fan of Kevin Smith. I'm a huge fan. He's one of my absolute favorite directors, and a lot of people think that I get my speaking style from him, like how I kind of drone on and on and on, and I can turn a 5-second answer into a 10-minute story, and like I guess probably that might be a little true because I have been watching him since I was a wee lad. So yeah, but I try, whatever. But you better tell a good
I was
story.
gonna say I have plenty of them, but I will give my favorite, and which surprisingly enough, it would be around the time frame just before I stopped drinking heavily. Because the last time that I was at a party and got so shit faced, I literally was so sick that I was puking so hard that I basically was puking bile by the end of it. So I still drink, but I don't ever drink to get drunk anymore.
I drink water.
That's what I have right now. Although I made a joke that I should have been sitting here drinking a beer or something for dude bro. But
yeah, that probably would have been a good idea.
So my story for this one is the fact, I don't know if in Tennessee, if you guys do this thing that we call it floating down a river or tubing for short.
Yeah, we do that. I've done that with my brother and tubed 12 miles and didn't realize it.
Yep. And that's basically what we do too. But especially up in the Wisconsin area, there's several different places that you can go river tubing on. But basically, in context, what it is you all get in different little tubes. You tie up to all your friends with rope, and you sit there with coolers, and you float down the river and you drink.
Yeah.
Well, we would always make the joke with my friends because the first year we ever went, it became this shit fest where we were all fuck-faced drunk and everything. But it was a smaller group of us. Like, it wasn't a huge group of us. Whereas when we go back and we'd make the joke at other parties with friends, someone would start talking about the river. Well, then one of us in the background would be like, we don't talk about the river. What stays at the river stays at the river. It's like Vegas. And so everybody was like, what the fuck happened at the river? Well, what happened at the river was the fact that we tubing down, you're sitting in the sun, and it became a 8-hour experience because the wind was going the opposite direction of the river. So at times we were literally at a standstill, not even floating down the river anymore. You're just sitting basically feeling like you're sitting in a pond at one moment. And we were so extremely drunk that to the point where other people's would go by, we wouldn't even know who they are. And we'd be like, yeah, hell yeah. And we'd all be like swapping drinks and shit like that. And then it comes to the moment where this one guy shows up and he has this bottle of tequila. It's half a bottle of tequila. This was back when I could handle my liquor. And I used to drink Jack straight with like no face, cringe or anything. And the guy offers me a drink, and my husband, trying to stop it from happening, knowing what's about to happen, because he'd switched me to beer at that point.
No.
I have the tequila and I down it. I'm not even joking. I down this half a bottle of tequila. And of course, the poor guy is just like, dude, that's fucking awesome. And so I'm wasted at this point. It's not even like drunk anymore, it's wasted. Yeah. I ended up making out with at least 3 of my friends. At least one of my friends that I was making out with You might
want to clarify what gender those people were, because they might think
female.
You're choosing your husband. They're what?
Female.
Okay, hold on.
Female.
And there it is. If you listen real close, everybody, you heard the collective coming of every male watching the show, thinking of Charcy making out with another girl.
3 other women. The other context that you have to understand is that my husband and I trust each other 100%, and certain things do not bother us, because even at one point in time, one of these females was making out with both me and my husband, or with just my husband. And it does not offend me, because this is a friend that I know, and it was totally fine. And we're all shit-faced drunk. Mm-hmm. So, and one of my running jokes always now in the future is that one of the friends that I was making out with is now married to one of my ex-boyfriends. And then one of the other females I was making out with is now getting married to one of the guys that had originally tried to break me and my husband up when we first started dating, which is a funny context, because I didn't even know that this guy liked me. And out of nowhere at a graduation party, he was like, he got into my husband's face and he's like, dude, you need to break up with her because she's mine. It's just like, what the fuck just happened? But now it's just funny because years later, everything's fine and we're good, because obviously I'm still married to my husband and he's married to someone else. But now my running joke to them, anytime I see my ex-boyfriend or see this other guy, I'm like, hey, guess what we have in common? And they're always like, what? And they fall for it every fucking time. And I'm like, I made out with your girlfriends. But the ending note for that one is the fact that if I drink tequila, I end up naked.
Yeah.
And with this one, it was with the car ride home. Actually, it was a van. So there was a bunch of us in this van. And I'm in the back, and I'm wrapped in a blanket. Well, when we get back to the house and we start unpacking, and all of a sudden everybody realizes, the girl who was sitting next to me, she's like, well, I shouldn't say my name. She's like, you're naked. And everyone's staring at me and I'm just wrapped in a blanket. And then I look down and I'm like, where'd my clothes go? And then my sister-in-law's like, where's your clothes? And I'm like, I don't know where my clothes are. So at some point I stripped off my clothes. Don't even remember this. Oh. And the funniest thing was when they found my clothes, apparently I had taken it off and I had folded it and I had put it in a plastic bag and set it next to me.
At least you're neat.
I still don't know how I managed that. I don't remember doing it. Needless to say, I don't ever drink that much anymore
I never had that little problem of someone wanting to be with me and trying to break me and my girlfriend up at the time. Never had that problem. Like, everyone thinks, like, I've had so many people be like, oh, I bet you have so many women in your DMs. I bet you have so many women. I bet you talk to so many women. No.
I never said that to you.
No, it doesn't work like that. Like, I have had maybe 4 or 5 girlfriends my entire life. Like, I am not a ladies' man. This doesn't work.
I just don't see it.
Like, I in no way have I ever had a problem where I had to choose between 2 women. It's never happened. Like, between my ex-wife and my current fiance, like, I call her my wife because we've been together for so long, but in between those 2, that is the shortest time I've ever had between a relationship. Otherwise, I've never had in between 2 relationships less than 2 years. Like, I go single for so long because, believe it or not, no one wants to get with me. Like, they're like, oh, yeah, he's cute, but he's really annoying. And it's like, I don't know, you know, and it's like
a good annoying.
it
What are
happens.
you talking about?
Like they're just, and most of my relationships do not last very long at all. Like the two longest relationships I have were my current and my ex. My ex-wife, we were married for 10 years. And then for
10 years is quite a bit of time, though.
yeah, and me and Michaela have been together for 5 years. So it's like, that's cool. But before that, I hadn't had a relationship longer than 5 months, because people who get to know me, they're just like, I'm out of here. You're so annoying. I'm done. Like, and also, I have been cheated on in every single one of my relationships. Every single one.
Except your current one.
Something wrong. Like,
except your current one.
Except my current one, of course.
I'm like, let's put that, yeah, except your current one.
It's like that right there tells me that there is something wrong with me. Like, if I'm the one getting cheated on every time, there is something wrong with me. I need to change something. So, like, it's like Jennifer Aniston, how all these guys leave her and she's like one of the most beautiful women in the world. That tells you there is something wrong with Jennifer Aniston. There is something wrong. And Taylor Swift, every time she writes these, well, she's the one breaking up with guys because she needs song material. But like,
I feel like that's the context of what happens with hers. So.
Oh yeah, she's like, I'm gonna date John Mayer because he's like 10 years older than me, and then I can write a song about a guy who's 10 years older than me and breaks my heart, and I'm gonna get a platinum record out of it. Check it out. Yeah.
You can't imitate her. Don't do that.
Like,
oh my god, that's too good. That's too good.
And that's what she does, but she's horrible.
It's your Valley Girl. It's your Valley Girl.
You just can't do it. You can't do that. It's awful.
No, it's awful. It's bad. You bad.
It's like, Jesus, man. Like, she dates like John Mayer, who's not that bad of a guy. It's like, okay, cool. You break up with him. Like, what was the other one? The dude she dated from freaking One Direction.
Was it a Jonas brother?
Maybe it was a Jonas brother. I think she dated someone from One Direction.
I don't follow her or them, so I mean, it could have been both for all we know.
But it's like, come on, dude, like, stop it. And then all these people who have all these relationships, and then they're like, I don't know why guys break up with me, or I don't know why chicks break up with me. It's probably because there's something wrong with you. Like, you cannot blame, if you have 15 relationships and all 15 of them break up with you, you cannot blame them. Like, there is something wrong with you. You need to change something. And I changed something, you know. I mean, I changed a lot of me for Michaela. So like, I became a lot more mature. Like, that, I know that was my problem. I was very immature. Like, I was a 32-year-old that was, I mean, extremely immature. So but
that
like,
can bite a lot of people in the ass. So
like, I grew up very quickly with Michaela, because I'm like, I'm gonna keep this one around. I still play with Legos. She can just bite my butt if she doesn't want me playing with Legos. But
there's a difference between immaturity and still enjoying like video games, Legos,
yeah, you know, I'm
collecting figurines.
You know, I'm in emotional immaturity. It's like, because I mean, I read big boy books. I read Stephen King and stuff. You know, I can read. It's pretty cool.
Oh, Stephen King.
Yeah, I read the big boy books. You know, I'm like, oh, look, this book is over 500 pages. I feel so adult.
So one thing I had thought of when I finally was looking up the cast for this, because I had mentioned to you the female actress who had played Motherface.
Yeah. She was in Paranormal Activity, Ghost.
Yeah, you had said that.
Mm-hmm. She's in a ton of other stuff.
Taylor Dudley.
Yes.
And then it hit me, and I'm like, oh, The Magicians.
Yes.
That's what I remembered her face from. And it was back when I first, because I really only liked The Magicians for like the first season, and then it fell apart after that.
Beautiful girl. Oh my God.
Gorgeous.
So pretty.
Oh, and I loved her character in this. She did a fantastic job, and oh my God.
Yeah,
but
Motherface 1, 2, and 3. That's pretty cool.
Technically, yes, because
And
what was the other parody in this movie? That it is part 3,
yeah,
but technically there is no part 1 or 2.
yes, there is no part, but they show all the deaths from 1 and 2. Yeah, it's like
the recap of 1 and 2, because
yeah.
it's kind of like a found footage kind of idea too,
Yeah.
which I kind of like that parody.
Yeah, the very opening of the movie caught my attention. It was like, this movie has not been seen by the masses. It was recorded on a VHS from an 8-year-old who stayed up to watch it on the late night movie. It's like, all right, cool. And then you go straight in, but you also get the commercials and everything, which is pretty great. The stupid commercials that you have no idea what's going on because you're only catching the tail end of them with the first start of it. And it's like the dude ripping off his shirt. There's a lot of shirt ripping in this movie.
Should have counted. You know what? That should, if you ever watch this movie, that should maybe be a drinking game, is that every time someone rips off a shirt, you need to take a shot or drink.
Yeah. At one point, Turbo puts on a shirt just to rip it off. Yes, he's like, oh, no.
Oh, you're a liar.
You lied to me. I got a little baby dog dick.
His
Turbo,
character is scared of dogs.
Puppies, baby dogs.
Baby dogs, that's true. Baby dogs.
He's scared of baby dogs. And the reason why he's scared of baby dogs is because he himself has a hairy baby dog dick. You never see it.
That scene was a little creepy though. So
and then
when the dogs are killing him.
Yeah, when he finally dies, and he dies because the dogs, a bunch of puppies running at him, and he's cuddling them. He's like, oh, they're so soft, and then blows his head off. Yeah, it's like, all right. And then it actually leads to a great scene where you boom automatically cuts to Brent walking out of the room, and you hear the loud bang, and it's the girl, and she's like, what was that? He's like, oh, Turbo's dead. It's like he didn't see it. He's out in the shed. So,
he's just dead.
Yeah,
he's gone.
And then or when she's like, hey, we got to go find Sizzler, and he's like, I kind of forgot who Sizzler was.
His voice was like perfect, spot on for his character.
Oh yeah, I'm Brent Torino. It's like the two dudes are like, oh yeah, what's our names? Turtleneck bro
dude
and flannel bro.
Flannel.
Yeah, I mean, lucky guess.
Yeah,
I love it. But anyway, so this was my choice. This was me. So it's on you now. It's your turn. So you have to choose.
Well,
I think I know what you're gonna choose.
My third horror movie favorite is, of course, Jaws.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I got my the 4K Jaws coming in the middle, I think.
You 4K?
4K Jaws, baby. Okay. Yeah, I got my choice after that coming. So, but see, I'm deviating because Dude Bro is actually not really in my top 5. No,
you just wanted me to watch this one.
Yes, I wanted you to watch it. And I've been asking you to watch this movie for 6-7 months. And you're like, yeah, I'll get to it. So I forced you to watch it. And I'm like, and there's another one that I'm going to force you to watch pretty soon. But I got to get through a few more because there's one movie that I've been trying to get you to watch forever and you will not watch it. So, yeah. But yeah.
We'll save that one for a later reveal.
Yes, because I've got my next 5 chosen, but it's like the next 2 I chose for a different reason, and I've already told you why I chose those 2.
These are literally my top faves, my faves.
Yes, so, and that's cool.
We'll eventually work our way down. I'm good with it.
And Jaws is the first movie we're gonna watch that a lot of people do not consider horror. I consider it horror. I consider it horror for a very specific reason, but you'll have to wait until that episode to find out what that reason is. But this is also like the first, probably the only Steven Spielberg we're going to watch too. Well, no, because eventually Jurassic Park needs to be thrown in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Jurassic Park it's kind of horror. Yeah, the raptors are scary.
It's a monster movie with horror elements.
Yeah. So, I mean, God, we got to do something. Like, I mean, we're going to be watching, we've already decided, we're like talking about 2 movies that are definitely not horror that we're going to throw in here. So
Yeah,
like,
we'll save that for another
yes,
reveal.
that's gonna be down the line quite a bit. So like, we're gonna, yeah, we've talked about many movies. I'm gonna throw Lord of the Rings in there one day just to do it.
Oh God, just to throw it in there.
Yeah, and the extended version, all 4 hours of it.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh God. I have those, so.
Yeah, I've got to remember all the ones that I've tried to get you to watch that you've never seen. I gotta remember them. I've only remembered.
As long as I can find them.
Yeah. The next one, actually, I'll just go ahead and tell you, it's called The Final Girls. That one is very easy.
God. See, which I kept confusing with The Final Girl, which I have seen, but yeah, I have not seen The Final Girls.
Final Girls has Adam Devine in it, and I am a simp for Adam Devine. It's because I have a really deep love for Workaholics. Like, that's one of my favorite shows in existence. It's actually me and Laszlo's favorite show, our favorite comedy ever. Like, we will quote Workaholics all day long. One of the biggest things we say is tight butthole, which means it's good. It's like, oh man, that movie was so tight butthole. And then if it's bad, of course, it's loose butthole. Oh man, that movie was loose butthole.
That's not a pretty picture.
It's stupid. It really is, for sure. But okay. But yeah,
well,
we're ready.
Yeah, I guess we can wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Like we gave the reveal. Our next film that we're going to be talking about is going to be Jaws.
And the theme song will be Baby Shark. Do 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 do.
No.
Baby Shark. Do do do. Mommy Shark. Do 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 do. Daddy Shark.
That was popular in my generation when I was a little shit. So
yeah, it's still popular. I've got a metal version of it.
I bet you do.
I bet I've heard it. Everything.
I bet I've heard it.
Yeah. Leo Morcioli.
Want to thank everyone for watching us and joining us here on Little Channel of Horrors. And you can find us on our Twitters. You can find us on Instagram, because now DC's got a new Instagram that he has started. So come follow us. All of our shenanigans.
Yeah, I've had that Instagram for a long time and never used it. But Twitter.
Join us here too. More like, subscribe, all the other fun things. Come talk to us in our comments section below. Yes. And
Twitter's running its course. So yes.
But other than that, we all hope you guys have a great day.